Richard Riordan has a genuine love and concern for Los Angeles, and he has a vision and a plan for our future. To share that vision and plan, I'd like to introduce to you now, Mayor of Los Angeles, the Honorable Richard Riordan.
Council President John Ferraro, members of the City Council, City Attorney Jim Hahn, City Controller Rick Tuttle, City Commissioners, employees, and fellow Angelenos. Almost 2 months ago, we were to come together for my first State of the City address as Mayor of Los Angeles. Unfortunately, Mother Nature intervened. In the aftermath of the earthquake, we know if there was ever any doubt, Los Angeles is worth fighting for. That city government can work, will work, must work. That the resilience of Angelenos, tested time and time again, is solid. That even as we come from many places, we are truly one city. And if we will it, if we work together, every day we will create a city of the angels, a city worthy of its name. Yes, 6.8 changed our lives. It also showed us who we are and what we can accomplish. 7 weeks ago, over 30,000 people were in parks and shelters throughout Los Angeles. Today, there are none. Our freeways collapsed. Today, we are working around the clock to repair them. We had no idea of how we were going to move around Los Angeles. Today, we have created alternatives, and every day are creating more and better ones. We didn't know how we would begin to pay for the most expensive disaster in American history. Today, the federal government has allocated over $8.6 billion to begin to make our city whole. 7 weeks ago, government came together like never before. Today, we are working to make that true every day of every year. We had a budget deficit of $200 million for the coming fiscal year. Today, we face a much steeper hill. 7 weeks ago, thousands of units of housing were damaged or destroyed. Today, we are working with lenders, owners, and government to repair housing quickly. We saw a dramatic drop in crime after the earthquake as a result of increased police presence. Today, our commitment to implement the second year of Project Safety Los Angeles is stronger than ever. In the earthquake's immediate aftermath, Los Angeles government worked. People here amazed and pleased everybody. Speed replaced delay. Problems were met with innovation. Professor James Q. Wilson of UCLA has aptly labeled our city government as a dysfunctional system run by honest people. In the earthquake's aftermath, city employees proved that they are willing to get the job done. It is our system that works against them. Give people the power to make decisions, the power to make mistakes, and the power to correct mistakes, and they will simply amaze you. We must fix the system. We must give city employees the opportunity to amaze us all of the time. We cannot afford to keep things the way they are. The cost is too high in every respect. Let managers manage and then hold them accountable. Let service replace paralysis and bureaucracy, and make Los Angeles safe. For from a safe city, all else follows. Take a look at the results of Project Safety Los Angeles after just a few months of implementation. Through overtime and release from desk jobs, we have police where they should be, out in the communities. There will be, by June 30th of this year, 70% more full-time equivalent police officers on the streets of Los Angeles than there were on the day I took office. And we are beginning to provide them with the equipment they need and deserve. We have ordered hundreds of new black and white police vehicles that will patrol Los Angeles' streets. We will supply these vehicles with cellular telephones. The city of Los Angeles is grateful to its men and women in our police and fire departments. As we have seen all too often, their service is selfless and dangerous. To make our city safe, we must have the resources to support these brave men and women in their day-to-day work. We must continue implementation of the Christopher Commission reforms. We must push forward with community-based policing across the city in every neighborhood. Our top federal priority is passage of President Clinton's crime bill, which will provide funding for 100,000 police officers throughout the country. This must be enacted, and Los Angeles must receive its fair share of these officers. Making Los Angeles safe is not negotiable. What does safe mean? It means that our streets belong to us, not the criminals. It means that our parks are for our families and our children. It means that school is a place of learning, not fear. It means that preventable crimes will be prevented. The investment we make in Project Safety Los Angeles will have the highest return of all. The budget that I will present to the City Council on April 20th will include funding for the second phase of Project Safety Los Angeles, reflecting the clear priorities on which I was elected. It will also demand efficiencies through streamlined organization and management. There are no more Band-Aid solutions to get us through one more tough year, waiting for the fat years to return. Those days are gone forever. This budget must respond to the Los Angeles of the present without shortchanging the future. This is the worst fiscal crisis in the city's modern history. We will have tough choices, painful choices, choices that will impact our daily lives. Passing this budget will require focus, commitment, and political courage by everyone both in and out of government. This budget will be guided by the common sense recommendations of my Special Advisory Committee on Fiscal Reform, ably led by Chairman Michael Tannenbaum. Their mission was to identify areas of opportunity and solutions to restore the long-term fiscal health of Los Angeles. What they found was that Los Angeles can do a much better job in managing its resources, its revenues, and its people. Why shouldn't our harbor department, our airport department, and our Department of Water and Power bring a healthy return to their owners, the people of the city of Los Angeles? Why shouldn't the city do a better job in collecting money owed to it? Why shouldn't we bring Los Angeles into the computer age with data banks, word processing, and instant access to information? The answer is obvious. We should. As the committee wisely recommends, the economic vitality of our city requires that we repair our infrastructures, our facilities, and our streets. And in the kind of community we want, we must not neglect our parks and our libraries, our human relations, and our job training. We must first put our own city government house in order. We must start with the people who work here. Since I got here in July, I have found a personnel system that can only be described as archaic. We have 44,000 city employees working under personnel rules from the 1950s. These outdated rules impede even the best managers and employees. They discourage productivity and accountability. Worst of all, they do not reward innovation. This makes absolutely no sense. We cannot accept the status quo. I will initiate a comprehensive study of the compensation and benefit packages of city employees. We want to make sure we provide services at the lowest possible cost to taxpayers. I will also ask the Civil Service Commission to simplify the number of job classifications we have. We must be better managers. We will begin management reviews of city departments based on consistent criteria over the coming year. We will find out from Angelenos if they are being treated well by their government. Today, I will ask the City Council to implement a customer satisfaction survey being developed by UCLA's Anderson School of Management. We saw city workers provide incredible customer services after the earthquake. This can be the standard. Just like in the private sector, we will use this survey to see if we are making the mark. Residents should be able to chart progress of their employees every year, not just at four-year election cycles. I will work with employee groups to create the most cost-effective way to accomplish the public's work. In some cases, this may mean using private contractors to provide some city services. But I am not an ideologue on using private contractors. In some situations, city workers do the job better and at less cost. We should tailor our solutions to the problems. We will be reasonable and responsible employers as we restructure the city's workforce. Our responsibility is to make city dollars work as hard for the people who earn them in the first place as they had to work. We must live within our means. Raising taxes is self-defeating. To find the funds to pay for Project Safety Los Angeles and our core investments, I will continue to seek legally sound frameworks for the airport and harbor departments to fund other city services. I will also work with the city attorney and the city clerk to improve our collection functions throughout the city. And I will work with the city council to lobby in Sacramento for home rule protection so that money raised in Los Angeles stays in Los Angeles. My friends, the real genius of any enterprise is implementation. My administration should be judged not on what we say, but on what we implement. I have asked the Tannenbaum Committee to oversee the implementation of their recommendations. As a budget is debated in Council, I hope we can follow the principle that reasonable people can disagree without being disagreeable. Right. It's a bad idea to think that government can do everything. It's also a bad idea to think that government can do nothing. Another area where we must do better is making Los Angeles friendly to business. Getting and keeping business is simple. We must make our city safe, and we must make it friendly to business. Then business will come here out of self-interest. Jobs that employ Angelenos are the measure of our success in economic development. We cannot be afraid to tout our region's numerous benefits to businesses throughout the world. After all, Southern California is the 12th biggest economy in the world. Our climate is unbeatable. We have great universities. There is unlimited technological expertise. We are one of the most important trade centers in the world. We have incomparable banking and venture capital expertise. And best of all are our people, the most entrepreneurial people on the planet Earth. Our economy is much more diverse than some people would have us believe. Yes, times are tough in some sectors, but many sectors are expanding in Southern California. Biotechnology, computer software for the information superhighways of the future, entertainment, environmental services, electronics, foreign trade, garment manufacturing and textiles, and many more. This city government will do what it takes to help these and other industry sectors come here, expand here, and stay here. The Development Reform Committee will report to me next month on inefficiencies in our planning process that stymie development, waste money, and drive businesses away from Los Angeles. We will do what it takes. Permits by fax, 24-hour beepers, streamlined procedures, efficient service. A government that clears the way for business, not gets in its way. There should be no doubt in anybody's mind, Los Angeles is open for business. As we recover from the earthquake, I will not be satisfied to bring things back to the way they were. We must and can do better. We must make City Hall an active partner with schools to give each student a thriving educational environment and make schools safe. I'll continue to stand for my belief that every child matters, that every child can learn, and that every child deserves the tools to compete in society. We must improve mobility in our region and be willing to try new things. We must aggressively manage the $3.4 billion MTA is spending annually to make certain that public transportation works. We must make sure that our ports stay competitive. That is why we're working hard to make the Alameda Corridor a reality. This is a vital link for our region that will give our ports the competitive edge on the West Coast, speeding our cargoes from the ports along railroads throughout our country. It will provide thousands of jobs both in construction and in the port district. It will free congested highways. It is our regional most important issue. But we should not lose sight of the small things that can each day do more to make Los Angeles better. We should not only clean up the rubble from the earthquake, but we should renew our pride of ownership in Los Angeles. All of us can roll up our sleeves and take responsibility for keeping our city clean and attractive. Paint out graffiti, pick up litter, and hold and keep neighborhoods clean. Plant trees, do whatever it takes. Why all the energy for these efforts? Because this is Los Angeles, not the old frontier of the Old West, but the new frontier of the 21st century. Bold, forward-looking, resilient. We are Los Angeles, the Los Angeles of sun and surfboards, of opportunity and optimism. We are the Los Angeles of avenue merchants speaking to customers in the languages of the whole world. On Balboa and Broadway, on Olympic and Olvera, on Crenshaw and Colfax, on Larchmont and La Brea, on Ventura and Van Nuys. We are the Los Angeles of the Watts Tower and of the movie industry and opening nights, of people from around the world trying to fit into John Wayne's footprints. We are the Los Angeles of gleaming skyscrapers and biking in the Santa Monica Mountains. Hundreds of worlds and experiences are created in our city every single day. As you leave the chambers this morning, please join us in celebrating the many facets of Los Angeles, which you'll see and hear in the hallways just outside the council chambers. Fellow Angelinos, we are bold and creative in so many ways. Let us use our courage, our commitment, and our capacity. We will make Los Angeles work. We will do it together. As President Theodore Roosevelt said, the government is us. We are the government. You and I. Thank you. Can I get on there?
Thank you very much, Mayor Riordan. We have some formidable work ahead of us, but united and working together, I think we can accomplish the goals that you will make Los Angeles strong and healthy again. Once again, to all of you who joined us this morning, thank you for being part of this historic State of the City address. I'd like to ask all of you that you stay where you are for a few minutes. You will be escorted out of the chamber. After leaving the chamber, I invite you to join the mayor, the city council for a special Los Angeles Yes celebration out in the hallway. Thank you very much for coming.